Welcome, brother. I am JK Amazy, head coach and founder of the Porn Reboot system. Today we're going to be talking about getting social during and after your reboot. So if you're one of those brothers who has been struggling with going out there and building a social circle and meeting people and stepping out of isolation, this video is going to give you a few tips. Now, we release videos 4 times a week, every single week. So if you enjoy these tips, go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. Let's get into the video. During your reboot, your social life is incredibly important, and having healthy relationships with positive people who care for you is a very powerful tool in your reboot arsenal. The truth is, you probably lost several important relationships during the time you spent on pornography. So how do you go about rebuilding or even building a circle of supportive people around you? The first thing you want to do, brother, is you want to start by giving more importance to your existing relationships. See, the truth is that you actually know a lot of people, from family members to the guy who works the cash register at the gas station that you frequent. See, a good way to build a great support network is to build on the relationships which you already have, right? So let's say you have an acquaintance, not a friend, an acquaintance, but somebody who you think is pretty cool. You can ask her to join you for an activity that both of you would enjoy, right? One of the things that I would recommend is actually listing out about 5 to 10 people who you know you would like a better, more familiar relationship with, and writing out literally some ideas of activities that you can do together. Whether it's inviting them out for lunch, for coffee, asking them that you want to pick their brain, you need their advice on something. There's so many options. One of the ways that I started making friends during and after my reboot was by getting on the internet and literally visiting sites like, there was a site called meetup.com. I don't know if it still exists, but basically there are these social networking sites where you can meet people in your area for all sorts of activities. And through this site, I made a lot of contacts for things like salsa dancing, meditation, yoga, wine tastings, and other sorts of social events. The only requirements is that, you have to actually be willing to show up and meet people. I know it sounds strange, but it's just an easy way to get started. One of the practices I recommend to my clients is to try a new activity or a new experience every 2 weeks. Listen, life is short, and this is a great way to find something that you might very well be passionate about, as well as meet new people. Another thing you can do is to make a decision to become a great friend. See, when you're busy, when you're focused on your own life and your personal problems and your reboots, it's very easy to let some relationships go stale and fade away. So if you're looking at your life and you're wondering, why don't I have deep, meaningful relationships? It might be time to take a good look in the mirror, right? The question you want to ask yourself is, how good a friend are you actually? Like, do you really make an effort to reach out to friends on their birthdays or on their anniversaries? Do you check in on them often to make sure that everything is going smoothly in their life? Are you making an attempt to meet them or invite them to events? Do you try to help them when they're in need? Do you check in with them to make sure they're okay? So to get good friends, you must be a great friend yourself. And it's these little thoughtful and conscious efforts in relationship building that make you the sort of person who actually has a solid support system, right? So as I said earlier, a good support system is crucial to your reboot. During the reboot and also after your reboot, as you start building up other areas of your lifestyle. And next, just go easy on yourself, okay? It's sometimes tough to step out of your comfort zone and meet new people because you're either rediscovering an old part of you or you're creating a totally new reality when you make an attempt to get social. So remember that it takes time to build a social circle and become comfortable with this way of life. Just like overcoming your behavior with pornography is a challenge, becoming social is also challenging in its own way. But you will overcome any doubt, fear, or discomfort which you might face. And next, brother, be positive, right? What you say to yourself is incredibly important. All day, every day, you have hundreds of thousands of thoughts which are running around in your mind. And most of these thoughts are about yourself and how you relate to the world around you. And some of these thoughts about yourself are positive and helpful to you, but most of them are actually negative and quite destructive when you're rebooting, right? And this is what we actually call self-talk. We all have both positive and negative self-talk to varying degrees. And again, mindfulness, which I'm going to talk about in another video, comes into play when it comes to your self-talk, because sometimes self-talk can literally make or break social situations. So you want to strive to be vigilant with your self-talk and be aware of your thoughts when you're in different social situations. Getting social, building and strengthening your personal relationships, it's not an easy task. And having been through it myself, I have immense respect for anyone who goes through that process, especially when you're rebooting. So you're going to deal with a wide range of feelings while you're going through this part of your reboots to rebuild your social life. And I just want you to know that we're always here to support you. We do have a free group on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, it's called the Porn Reboot Group. There's a link to join in the description below this video. And sometimes it's really nice to have an accountability group, people, and we actually have about 3,000 men in that free group who are active members, all of who are trying to apply all the different skills, tips, techniques, and strategies that they're learning from the Porn Reboot system.